Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and we are fewer than 24 hours away from the first American screenings of Avengers Endgame, and I know what you're all most excited for. You're all so excited to see everyone's favorite feminist icon, Captain Twatwaffle herself, back on the screen, played by none other than the charming, vivacious, ever-lovable Brie Larson, who always inspires and comes across as totally normal and likable in all of her interviews. If you can't tell that that's sarcasm, you should probably go away. I don't think you're gonna have fun here. Anyway, so Brie Larson, this self-titled feminist hero, as it were, who's obviously, magical and awe-inspiring to little girls everywhere, including not a single one that I can think of her name. I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about her, there's so many things about her that bother me. Why does it bother me that she's the champion for women? I'm a woman. I should like women who are champions for me. That should be a good thing for me, right? So why does it bug me? All right, because she's not. Because the reality is what has Brie Larson actually ever done for women? Brie Larson's female activism includes accepting the role of Captain Marvel. It's not like she sought it out. She was just given it to her. She didn't say yes because she wanted to be a hero for women. She said yes because she wanted to be in a damn Avengers movie, obviously. She wanted to be in a Marvel film as a superhero, as one of the Avengers. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't say yes to that? So it's not some like, oh my God, I've taken up this mantle knowing full well the responsibility foisted upon my shoulders as being the first Marvel female hero to have her own movie. No, she did it because she's obviously the greatest human ever and deserves all of the things, so thinks she. Other things that Brie Larson has done, clearly her excellent activism, not even start a crowdfunder to bring underprivileged women to see her movie, which, by the way, that alone is like, what is that aside from a form of self-aggrandizement? You're not improving their lives. They're getting, a couple hours of entertainment and then they go back to whatever and they get to watch not even that inspiring of a film that doesn't even have a particularly powerful feminist message. They just get to go watch you, see how important you think you are, for 2 hours and then they go back to their lives. Like, if you wanted to actually change their lives, like, I don't know, maybe, do something to help encourage them to become filmmakers. Maybe do something to help encourage them to become actresses themselves, as opposed to just be like, come see my movie and be inspired. And like I said, she doesn't even get credit for that because she didn't even start this crowdfunding campaign. She just tweeted. She was like, well, they did one of these for Black Panther. I think we need one for Captain Marvel. We need a Captain Marvel challenge. And someone else made the GoFundMe and she just walks around taking credit for it like she did something special. Like, look at what I did. I inspired. That's what she does. She inspires people. She is so high above us. She is so great and grand. She doesn't actually have to do work. She just has to be, and it will inspire us all. And then, of course, her big claim to fame is making sure she had more diverse journalists on her press tour, because that totally helps women everywhere, rising up the women who are already at the top of their field and just giving them a nice opportunity. I'm sure it was great for them. I'm sure they enjoyed it. But let's face it, if you're interviewing an A-list celebrity who's starring in the new Marvel film, you're probably already affiliated with a journalism a publication that's going to afford you those opportunities anyway. And okay, maybe it would have just gone to another dude who works for you instead, but what are you actually doing to improve the diverse playing field and to create a diverse playing field in journalism just by picking and choosing diverse people who have already made it to interview you? People who are not having doors closed in their face, people who are not still struggling to get to that position. They've already made it at that position. How are you improving the lives of women everywhere by just diversifying from your already elite talent pool? If you really cared about diversifying the field of journalism, first of all, maybe do some research, find out why entertainment journalism doesn't have more women or people of color in it. Are there specific reasons? Are there specific things actually stopping them from doing that? And if there are, address those things. Make those things go away. Because then that's how you bring more people up in that. If it's important to you to see more female journalists, if that's a thing that's important to you, that matters to you, great. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having the desire to have more female journalists. But if you want that, go fund a scholarship program, create a scholarship program to send more women to journalism schools. Go create a workshop, bring in top of the line journalists to do a workshop, to hold a workshop specifically for women to talk about, what it's like to be a female entertainment journalist. The obviously entertainment journalism, the pinnacle of journalism, the most cutting edge, groundbreaking, newsworthy stuff you could possibly be reporting on. So yeah, great job propping up women through all of your efforts. I can think of, there are countless women out there who are actually doing real things to create to try to change the role of women in the film industry, or try to change our view of women on film. People actually writing stories, things to it. Lena Dunham, I despise Lena Dunham. I hate her. I've watched 2 episodes of Girls and I wanted to vomit my guts out. But the fact is that that's her idea of what it means, what feminism means. Somehow I don't get it. It's weird to me, but at least she's out there freaking writing her own TV show, doing something about it, saying, here are my feelings. Let me actually represent this as I want it to be told. There are people, incredible women, Catherine Bigelow, who's directing what are classically dude films. She directed Point Break before she even went on and did the war movies. But, in a genre that's very classically like for dudes, she's absolutely, she's like, let me tackle these films because these are the films I want to make. That, to me, is much more inspiring than Brie Larson saying, yeah, sign me up, I'll totally play Captain Twat Waffle. Way more inspiring in that regard. There are women starting institutions, all different kinds of institutions to help out other women, to help underprivileged women get opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise have, to fund research into areas of the entertainment industry where there's gender differences, and to find out if there's bias, and if there is, how to fix it. Actually doing the work and doing the effort. Let's see if there's a problem, why there's a problem, and how we fix the problem. That stuff's great. I'm all for that stuff. I'm not all for someone standing up in front of a microphone and be like, I don't have a problem with white dudes, I just think women are better and so I'm gonna make them amazing. Like, her version of activism is just being a jerk to all the men around her. For Christ's sake, Chris Hemsworth has done more in terms of female activism than she has. Chris Hemsworth has actively took the role in the Snow White and the Huntsman, which was of course a garbage movie that I never even saw, but he said one of the reasons he took that role was to be in a film with powerful women. A great movie that had, for female characters, from what I understand, maybe not, I don't know, but the whole idea of it is these badass huntswomen chicks, and him. And he was like, yes, sign me up for this because I want to be working with these women. I want to be putting myself alongside them and supporting this kind of storytelling. I want to be supporting strong female characters. Like I said, I don't know if they're actually good, strong female characters. I never saw the film. Another activist is by taking the role in the female Ghostbusters movie, which was a totally gender-bent role, which was someone who would be classically, the ditzy, dumb, blonde female secretaries played by him as the dude, in which, if anybody has seen this film, if anybody has actually bothered to go see it, you can easily say he was the most entertaining part of this movie by far and away. And that was a brave thing for him to do, was to take this role that made him look, silly. It was a goofy role where he's basically, by embodying a stereotype but in a different gender, he's making I thought it was a great commentary on that. I actually really do enjoy that particular choice in that film. All the things that were terribly wrong about that film, that choice was a good choice. It was a fun choice. It absolutely worked. And Chris Hemsworth's decision to go, because let's face it, Chris Hemsworth is not Brie Larson, right? He doesn't have to take whatever awesome roles are given him just because they're awesome. He's already there. He's already at that level. He can accept or turn down whatever the heck he wants to. As much as she thinks she's so much more powerful than he is, let's face it, in the real world, the power is with Chris Hemsworth. He did not have to take that role on. I would venture to say that one of the reasons he was so excited about doing that part is, once again, that he is all about, that he actually supports women being strong, whereas Brie Larson doesn't support any man if they're white. Especially if they're white. Just listen to the way she snaps at him every time he tries to be nice to her in interviews. The way she just snaps at him and pushes him away, as if somehow hating on white men. The way she was so dismissive. I would not be the next Tom Cruise. As if just uttering the name of a white man was somehow a dirty word. That's not activism. That's not feminism. Feminism, real true feminism, the idea of promoting equality of the sexes, is not you spitting venom at the opposite sex. That's not equality. Equality Molly's not tearing down the other side because, oh, you think they've done you dirty throughout the years. That's not promoting feminism. In fact, all you're doing is hurting it. All you're doing is hurting the ultimate goal for women and men to live harmoniously with mutual respect, which many of us, by the way, in our day-to-day lives already do. Like, yes, there are issues. There are gender imbalances that happen in the world. I'm not going to say there are not. I've experienced them. Are there some that affect men? Yes. Are there more that affect women? I don't know. There are a lot of questions, a lot of feelings about that. My feeling is generally yes. My feeling is generally yes, we've had the short end of the stick. I know that not everyone agrees with that, and you don't have to. That's fine. You don't have to agree with that. I'm not going to run around being like, you are evil because you don't acknowledge my suffering and oppression. I am not oppressed. Look, I am not oppressed. My role in society may be different. I may be treated differently because of my gender. Let's face it, we all treat people differently based on different intangible qualities like that. I'm not going to run around being like, I am oppressed and I am a victim, even if I do believe that categorically women have had fewer opportunities in certain areas than men. I'm not going to run around playing the victim about it. That's all. Brie Larson, that's all she wants to do is make everyone else the victim and walk around being the hero. That's not strength. That's not power. That's everyone has to be a victim or a villain or they're her. And that way she's automatically always the best, the most sparkly, the most wonderful because she's such a champion for all the other women who are just poor little victims. And she's the hero who's fighting against all the evil men, which she demonstrates time and time again as she interacts with Chris Hemsworth on interviews and stuff. So I don't buy it. I don't buy it. She doesn't do anything for me or my kind other than just make everyone think that she's an insufferable twat. And just once again is giving a worse and worse name to ideas like feminism and diversity by doing it in such a crappy, harmful way. So no, Brie Larson, you're not a feminist here. You're not a feminist. You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything for women. You've done less than nothing for women. You walked out of your failed-ass modeling career, your failed-ass singing career, and now you think you're some sort of champion because somebody stuck you in a superhero suit? Grow the F up, woman. You want to, you don't, the whole thing with her is that she doesn't know how to do activism for people who are actually underprivileged, for people who don't have the same things that she does, because she doesn't understand that people exist like that. I mean, just by her answers in that Wired interview, I sing, doesn't everybody sing? Her just lack of understanding of what normal human beings are like. No, normal human beings weren't just given a music video because they said, I want to be a pop star one day. Normal human beings don't just get to, first of all, any other normal human being that sat next to the freaking cast of the Avengers, it's a little bit more humble to be there. They don't walk around acting like they're entitled to be there, like, oh my god, this is their God-given right to be there. A friend of mine, someone I used to know from acting class, is Pom Klementieff, the chick who ended up playing Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Avengers Infinity War. And I mean, she is like totally blown away to be in this situation where she's talking to these people. She's so, if you watch her interviews, she's so fun and warm and friendly, and she's clearly developed a rapport with these people because she didn't come up with an ego or an attitude about like, oh my god, I gotta work with John Bautista and Chris Pratt. No, she developed friendships, and you can see that honestly when she sits down with these people. This is someone who was elevated from being, not much of anybody. Maybe that's the whole thing, is Brie Larson thinks she's so important because she won an Oscar. The reality is we're all just people, and to walk into that room and be like, I am somehow above you, when the reality is like, these people are above you in the sense that they have created this world together. You're entering into their world. Have some humility. Understand the concept of humility, which she just doesn't. She just doesn't. I mean, she went out to create her own thing. The thing that she created, by the way, while we're on the subject of actually doing things activism, she went out and directed a movie. The moral of the movie she directed was, as long as you find a man, you'll be okay. I mean, there's no female empowerment whatsoever in the Unicorn Store, for frick's sake. Like this, she's just so out of touch with what it even means to be a strong woman. She wouldn't know a strong woman if they walked up and punched her in the effing face. Which, man, I know a few strong women who would like to do that. Not naming names, possibly me. I'm totally gonna get everyone's gonna be like, you're threatening violence against Brie Larson. Look, wanting to punch someone in the face and actually saying you would punch someone in the face are two totally different things. I want to punch a lot of people in the face. You don't see me getting arrested every day for punching those people in the face. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Brie Larson just has a very punchable face. That's all I'm saying. There's a word for that in German. It's Backpfeifengesicht. Probably pronounced so. Anyway, that means you have a very punchable face. There you go. Captain Backpfeifengesicht. That's you. That's her. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and press that like button, depress it, repress it, harass it, I don't know, do nasty things to it. Just don't tell me about it. And click that video that's popping up that says get involved with me. That will give you links to Patreon, Teespring, social media, all of these things, all your different ways to get involved with this channel and help it grow. All of your interactions help so much, so I thank you very, very much for being here, for supporting this channel. Also, if you really, really like me and the stuff I do, look up LA cheesesteak reviews. I'm posting it on my social media and stuff like that right now. It's a new channel. channel that I'm doing where I'm going to review cheesesteaks in Los Angeles. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, follow us, LA Cheesesteak, and the link to the YouTube is on there. So do those things, and you guys are great, and I'll talk to you again soon. God Empress out!